still are working someplace. Right. Bow in. Welcome. And let's warm up. Switch. Got some positive feedback for last class in that it really was helpful to just go over the new moves and then run the whole form, seeing as you have the capability of pausing and rewatching lessons and rewinding and following through the form, that it's not necessarily important to fill up our recording with lots of times practicing over and over again, because you can just rewind to that spot and copy again and again. Allows me to have a little more time for instruction, and since a normal hour-long class has me demonstrating and leading only half the time, and the other half of the time is me observing and answering questions and giving feedback, we kind of cut that in the middle and end up with about a 40-minute recording that has our nice warm-up. Don't skip the warm-up. It's good to do that each time. Kind of a good transition from whatever you were doing to your practice. Like getting you in the mood. Switch. Like an appetizer. All right, 1 foot forward. I do think it's a good idea today to review Monday's lesson, and maybe even last week's the newest moves is what I'm trying to say. As we review the newest moves, both for the Xinjia Erlu and for the Chen Tai form. Switch. Do let me know later, if I don't already know, that you're on the live stream. You know, my dad also teaches for St. Edward's University, and they're also doing live streaming for classes, and he has like 20 students in some sort of advanced business class or something, business management type thing. And it's Zoom. It's him and like a screen with all of his students there. He was telling me he was getting an appreciation for what we have to do, except he actually gets feedback live because he can see all the students taking class. You can imagine how challenging it might be to talk as if you're talking to someone and you don't know who or what's happening of their reactions and stuff, if they're getting it or learning it. All right, Chansiji. I'm trying to stick to about 10 of each of these. I told you last class when we do this with Chung Sai, he always did them. He was like super fast getting through them. And I said I don't really know if that was because he just wanted to get to teaching the lesson, and He taught private lesson after private lesson all day long. But I find it doing it slower feels better. Switch. All right. Tendon lengthening, marrow washing, chi soothing method at your own pace. You know, do about 6 to 10 of them. Release. I'm reminded when I do the Qigong and I end up focusing on my practice because I'm here at the school alone, that the Qigong, we did the set of 10 or 11 at one point, and it really helps the body feel connected, which means it really feeds into feeling your Chen form and feeling the balance of it and the connectivity of it and stuff. And that I was reflecting without even trying, thinking like, why? It's like, well, I think it's the relaxation. It's that the body gets so relaxed with all the different Qigong postures that then when you sink in your form and you move, you can't help but move the body as a unit, provided that you memorize the movements and you know Tai Chi. Learning it, I think, is a different thing. Learning it, that wouldn't necessarily be true. But doing it, forms and movements you're already familiar with, single whip, commencement, lazy about tying your robe and all, getting very, very relaxed first physically, which of course also translates to mentally, but not spaced out, but just you feel like, I feel relaxed and centered and calm, and then you're like, okay, now I'm doing my form, and now it's feeling like I understand it should feel. Does that make sense? Okay, let's do the yin-yang balancing chi mobilizing method. couple more. Okay. So, I said we would do some review of the new movements. They were kind of confusing, but once you get a flow to it, we'll get it. So last class we reviewed from the punch after the dragon on the ground. Is it after or before? Oh yeah, you punch and then you do dragon on the ground. So we reviewed, we did new movements from the dragon on the ground up through, well, to another punch. Okay, so let's review. That was a big chunk, although it's very similar movements to moves you've learned before. So it wasn't anything brand new in its in the way it's moving, except maybe a little bit of footwork. All right, so we did a punch, and then we came back, and I'm going to just keep the dragon on the ground up high, and let's kind of walk through casually the outline of the next section. So we have the dragon on the ground, and then you have to bring the foot in because you're all the way down. So you're going to bring the foot in for a second, and then you're going to step. You're just pulling the left hand back and striking with the right and turning around like that, like a little monkey hop. Let's do that again. Hang in there with me. I'm also reviewing as if someone hasn't learned it before. Okay, so if you're like, I already got it, well, hang in there with me. So you do the dragon on the ground, and you come up, take a left foot step, right hand palms, step right, left, and now you're facing your screen there. Your left hand is going to be palm up, close to your left hip, like between dantian and your hip, and the right hand just swings in. And you're in a kind of or not just swings in, it does like chansujing. So just keep in mind the lead hand each time is doing cloud hands, or cloud hands with one hand is chansujing, right? So we're doing chansujing and having the other hand here or here each time. And I'll review, when the hand's scooping, you try to get the other hand to do this. And when it's going out, you let it go on the hip again. When it comes in, it goes here. When it goes out, it's here. And each time, that turning of your waist, it leads also the changing of the feet and the stepping and the swinging of the alternate leg. So, dragon on the ground. Okay. Bring the foot in, step left, strike, come through, swing the right hand in, or scoop it in, and then there we are with the left foot, the right foot in the cat stance, kind of-ish, the weight's on the left. Now when we're going to swing out. We're adjusting the right foot and bringing the left foot up. Okay, you can look over your shoulder again. Pretty much you have a horse stance, a high horse, and you have the left hand on the hip and the right hand out. Now we're going to have to adjust that right foot to turn back. So you're going to look over your left shoulder, and you're just going to start to swing the hips and let the feet adjust. And then that right heel will lift up a little bit because you're returning to that cat stance. And when I say cat stance, I mean that very loosely. It just means that your weight is off of the right, with the right heel up a little bit. It's mostly on the left, and the left hand flips back up to be between your dantian and your left hip. So you're here. And then you just repeat. So you're going to turn, that left foot swings up, and the left hand goes to turns over onto your left hip. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4. So the next one's 5. Lead with the hips, lead with the hand, and then that right foot will adjust for you. And then it will come to a point where you'd have to torque your knee in, but you shouldn't, because you're bringing your weight to the left leg and releasing the right heel and scooping. Now, you're going to seemingly do the same move again, but instead, it will be a ball change. That means the right foot's going to come in, and the left foot's going to go out. Right? And then that left hip, hand's on the hip. Ooh, no, it's not, but it is, but wants to be. So then the left is going to scoop, and the right goes to the hip. Okay, look over your shoulder. And now we're going to do everything we just did, but with the left foot staying in the same spot, but pivoting, and the right foot doing the swinging in and swinging out. So here we are, that would have been 1 here. Now we're gonna wave out and turn, 2. And the hands on the hip. Oh, the right hand would have not been on the second hand. Well, we'll cover it. Less important is what this hand's doing. More important is the complexity of the foot step. So you're facing me again. Let's just keep going. You're going to scoop the left hand and adjust the left foot and wave out with the right hand. Wait a minute. Am I messing it up? This is too slow for me. All right, let's back it up and let's just do it again so I can do a little less instruction so I can keep the flow of it. So here we are with the dragon on the ground. With me? Bring it in, and here we go. 1, hop, hop. We're scooping with the right hand, and then we're turning, and then we're turning back, and then turning, and then turning back. And then jumping, right, left, where it switches. The left hand changes to a scooping and the right hand's on the hip. Then you're gonna go forward with the right, and back with the right, and then forward with the right, and then back with the right. Yep, and then take your circles. You can look over your right shoulder and you do your heel kick, and then step up. Now you're facing the screen, and then heel kick, and flash back. Then you're going to step down, take the foot out, and circle 1 time, and bring the hand down and pop up 1 time, then drop and circle, and then forward. Okay, looks like everyone needed the review, including me, especially how to instruct it slowly. Let's do it again. Ready? I want to get 1 take where you can rewind and go, okay, that's the one I'm going to follow. But here we go. Dragon, bring it in, still trying to keep it slow. Boom. Scoop in and turn. Scoop in and turn. And scoop in. And jump turn to switch to the other side. And turn. Oh, pivot, forward. And back. And forward. And back. There it is. Take your step. Boom. Bring it in. Boom. Boom. Drop and X. But then from here, you just come right up to the and circle. And then, all right. 1 more time. And then we'll run it from the top. Here we are, dragging on the ground. And in, up. We're swinging it in and turning. And in and turning. And in. That's 5 times total. Then we turn. We could call this 6, but we are going to call it 1 with this guy because this would have been 6, but it goes to the hip. 2, the right foot comes up. 3, the right foot goes back. 4, the right foot comes up. 5, the right foot goes back. Then we make a circle and kick. Swing it in, hit with the right. Flash it back. Stomp, cross, pop. Jump to wider stance and punch. Okay, I hope that was helpful for you. Find your spot and let's see if we can run the form all the way from the beginning up through there. Now remember, when you're on your own, review this video, or if you are already on your own, this is not a live stream for you and you're watching it later, hit that pause button and try the move on your own. Okay, or try 1 or 2 moves if it's brand new to you. Just try 1, 2, 3 steps and then come back and press play and go to the next thing, all right? Pretend like you're in class and you've been given as much time as you want to practice on your own before I show it to you again. Slow and fast. A little faster. Oh man, I'm losing my place. Oh. I'll pick it up there in a second. It's that thing at the end, and it'll probably catch you too. New movements, you cross here, but you don't circle. But on that one, you do circle, and that's what went in my brain. All right? So, we'll go from here again. Punch. Now the wrap breakers. Forward. 1, 2, 3, that's 3, 4, 5. And hop. Call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step. Kick. Turn. Kick. Flashback. Drop X and hop, then circle, punch. Awesome. Okay. I feel like I want to redeem myself with one more. I'm looking at the clocks and just estimating our time. Yes, let's do it one more time. Even if we end up doing a little less fan. All right? Come along for the ride. Come along on the ride with me, and let's try it again. Again. That should be the last one. Hop. Kick. Switch. Kick. Hop. X. Hop. Punch. All right. Much better. So, take a breather. If you're watching this not live streaming, you can press pause and get a drink and get your fan and come back out. So, if you're live, get your fan and come back out. And we'll review the new stuff first. You ready? Okay, well, I'll give you another second for those live streaming. All right, so we're just gonna pick it up, not much explanation at first. We're gonna pick it up, from this guy, but that faces that way. So you can be right along next to me for this part. And we'll take it step by step slowly. You you just passed the span off to your right hand, and if you closed it, then you're circling it back. The left fist pulls down on your left, next to your left thigh, and the left foot comes up. Then you do the kick slowly, set the heel down, turn, blocking in, stepping with the right, turn, blocking in with the forearm of the left. Now this next part normally happens very, very fast. It's like close, boom, 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 and then you're doing the jumping thing in place in a cat stance. So we'll go slowly still though. Close, looking over your right. And if you look back at me, swing this guy up, however you want to grab him is fine, so that you pass them off, and you do left foot comes up, right foot comes up, and you hit your hand with your right foot hits your right hand. And you come back and pass it back. That was the right foot after it kicks coming back, then the left foot coming back, and then the hand circling, and then pushing down, exhale. Bring it up and hop, and then you're gonna elbow and open and kick. Then you're gonna land, and you're gonna casually let it close, and then lean and thrust, because that's the beginning of your jump. Right, are you still with me? The beginning of your jump. And the right hand circles down and back, and up, and opens. The left palm goes out, and the right leg goes way behind your left. Then you simply turn and flick the wrist. And then, that happens so quick, it's like flick and pull. You're right into there. You're there, and it's like flick and flick, pull. Then hesitate a little bit and double punch. Okay, from here, we lean. See how it's a good way for you to see. I'm coming over here. We've done the double punch here. Come back with me. Double punch. So you can see me. Now lean. Okay? And then the weight's here. The left hand's going to come by your right shoulder, and the right hand's going to swing from behind as you pick up the left foot. Okay? It seems so easy, but I'm having an idea that if I asked you to do it right now, some of you would be able to, some of you wouldn't. So let's do that review again. Okay. Kick slowly, set the foot down, block in, step, twist, close, swing it up, pass it off, kick, hit your foot, pass it back, right foot, left foot, cat stance, right foot, cat stance forward, fast, elbow, casually close it, but it's the thrusting, turn and flick, pull, double punch, lean, lean, take it all the way to your shoulder, make sure your right leg's bent, and that'll make it easy to pop up. Yeah, one more time? One more time, and then we can try it from the top. I feel like we're now kind of ahead of schedule. I was tempted to show you the next move, but thought it'd be best not 2 days with new moves in 1 week, but I imagine some of those moves are still new for you. So let's do it again. You with me? Kick. Bend it, then step. Twist and block. Twist and block. Flick. Flick. Yeah? This is where I'd say, let me see you do it a couple times. Make sure you got it. You will have to do that either by videoing yourself and sending it to me, or simply by pausing and practicing a little bit at a later time and make sure you get the moves in. I encourage you to review all of these, because at some point, whether it's a couple weeks or a couple months or longer, I will see you in person, and I want to see how well you've done with this routine. All right. So let's do it from the top. And I know some of you are brand new on this live stream, so there's your reminder again. That's how it starts. Find a good spot where you know you're not going to bump into too many things. Band form is a pretty decent inside form. You know, I've been doing the double sabers class. If you haven't been joining me for that, there's a lot of great review and recordings for that Chen style double saber. I do lots of run-throughs of it over and over again. Lots of detailed, as if you never learned it before, instruction. So if you haven't checked out that live stream playlist, it should be available to you and can give you something else to do. All right. Here we go. Begin. Yeah, I think we did on that one. All right, I'm gonna end class now, so there's a little bit of transition for the next class to start. I'm really glad y'all made it. I can't wait to actually see you in person. All right, have a good afternoon. We'll see you on the other side. Oh, let's bow out. We honor the masters who came before us and seek to follow their examples. Proud of me? Proud of each other. All right, good job.